What?
It makes my brain work harder.
Really? So you have to think like, oh, did that come from the left or the right?
No. It's just I put the creative impulses on the right side and put the like logical impulses on the left side.
It's
and then I'm working double time.
It's one of those like reverse psychology things.
Sure.
Reverse directional psychology.
This is real science. I don't know.
Science. Speaking of science. Before we get started, and I'm going to leave this in because I want to know your opinion.
Okay.
Opinion.
Okay.
I just sent you a message that was a tweet from Sky News, I believe. They have found over 100 ancient Egyptian coffins, and they're going to open all of them.
I saw that yesterday, actually. Yeah.
Should they be opening all of them?
No.
Is there ever a good time to open coffins?
Yeah, there is.
Really?
Yeah, when they're like 15,000 years old. These are only 2,500 years old. I did see this article yesterday. It was really interesting.
They're only 2,500?
Only 2,500 years old. And I'm just like, y'all are basically still grave robbing at this stage. I think you need a good 5,000 years before it's not just grave robbing.
I don't know, man. Like, it feels weird. Like, I don't think you should ever open them. Like, why? What's the point? Like, I don't know.
Leave those poor people be.
Like, is there ever going to be a good time to open a family member of ours' coffin?
Yeah. If they got buried with the family jewels, hell yeah.
Grave robber. Who have I married?
This is why I want to be cremated, man. None of y'all have to make that. You never have to make that tough call with me.
Who's going to be the mother of my child?
I want it to be cremated and made into a diamond. Yeah. I said it. This face.
All right, we're getting cremated. We're getting made into diamonds. It's Parentally Unprepared. My name's Jeremy.
I'm Krista.
And we are Parentally Unprepared.
Very, very much so.
Don't forget, you can always reach out to the show at punpreparedpod on Twitter and parentallyunprepared@gmail.com. You can email us the old school way. You know, the way your parents do.
Put your coffee down so you can work the soundboard right.
All right, I'm bringing the sound down. Sorry. Welcome, everyone.
I can barely hear my thoughts.
Welcome to week 17. Oh, my goodness.
We're here.
Week 17. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you've had an eventful week. I hope that...
or uneventful, either way.
Hope that everyone's staying safe out there. Or uneventful. That works too.
No news is good news.
No news. Great news. So
I'm gonna make it through this one without crying. I can do it.
How's your week going? How are you feeling? How's the progress going for you?
It's been a rough week.
Yeah, it has.
It's been a rough week.
It's been a rough week, not because of anything with the baby.
Sort of, but yeah, the baby seems fine.
Baby seems fine,
but apparently hormones that come with pregnancy are just ravaging my body.
They're ravaging your body mentally and physically. You've got a little bit of a foot issue. What happened?
Oh my God, I don't know what happened. So I just woke up Monday morning and it felt like someone had a big, like, Bowie knife stuck in my foot, like top of my foot. Like if you call it your ring toe, the bone in the top of your foot there, and it hurts so bad. It's
feeling better today.
It's much better today. Thankfully, I literally went basically on bed rest for 3 days with it elevated and iced and like.
Yeah, you go into any room that she's in, whether she's working or doing whatever, the foot's just up in the air.
Yeah, pretty much.
With an ice bag laid over the top of it.
I was like in bed by 7 p.m., just like propping my foot up.
Yeah.
Like so many things I want to do and get accomplished and work on, and now, I can't even walk.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was like Monday it hurt really bad. Tuesday I couldn't even get out of the bed. I couldn't even put weight on it.
Yeah, you were kind of hobbling around. We got, my stepmother brought over some crutches for you.
Yeah.
So you could get around a little easier and not have to put weight on the foot. But it seems to be getting a little better. You did talk to one of my siblings, is a physical therapist.
Yeah, and
he is like the if any of you are the smart tech person in your family out there, and your family always asks you about what, my computer's doing something weird. My brother's that, except for ailments of the body for everybody.
Especially me, the poor guy. I call him like at least once a month with a new problem. Doggies, play nice. And yeah, he basically explained to us that there's this hormone that women's bodies release when they're pregnant.
Relaxin, right?
Yes, thank you.
Sorry.
I was getting there.
Just conversating.
Just conversating. But yeah, it's called relaxin, and it's the hormone that your body releases so your hips can like expand and accommodate the baby and the uterus growing. But it also causes everything else, like all your ligaments and tendons to relax, so you can sprain your knee and sprain your ankle and sprain your wrist and sprain everything else way easier.
Everything becomes really stretchy, right? Like,
yeah, I'm Stretch Armstrong now. It's great.
Yeah, well, it's and you said so you could expand and stuff like that, and it was about those round ligaments we talked about a couple weeks ago.
Those two.
So those to make room for the baby and move the organs around and all that stuff. So it's not just affecting those that are needed to make space; it's affecting everything in your body.
Yeah. So he thinks I have a Liz Frank sprain, which is normally like a football injury or something, I think.
Now,
I think Cam Newton had that happen, but
Liz Frank is the name of the actual tendon right there too, which is weird, right?
Yeah.
Like, so I mean, I don't know. I should have maybe looked it up. Is that just, did they just go through and the first person that had that injury was like, okay,
I didn't
we're going to name this tendon after you. I want a tendon named after me.
It really wasn't. It wasn't pertinent to my need for information on how to fix it, so I didn't care.
I just always think it's weird how they name things after.
Yeah. Who was named Patella? Yeah, of course. But no,
Daniel Patella. I know
Daniel
him.
Patella.
I know that
guy. But yeah, so we're babying the hell out of my foot right now.
Well, and it sucks because you can't just do your normal like. You were doing good about getting some exercise, doing a little walking, doing a little biking on the bike we've got here, and now that's all put on hold.
Yeah.
And that affects you, like that can affect you mentally too, because it really helps. Like they say, it's really good to do some walking, just a little bit of exertion, just to kind of
release some energy.
Release some energy, put your mind at ease. It's good for the baby.
Yeah. And I mean, just cardiovascularly, like, we're in the middle of a pandemic that affects your respiratory system. So the more actual cardio you can get in a safe environment, like, the better your entire body responds. If for some reason we were to get sick, like if you're completely out of shape, your body doesn't bounce back as well, which I'm completely out of shape regardless, but I like to try like getting my edges in where I can.
Right. Right.
But it's just, it's really sucky. Like you've been wonderful and thank you again a million times, but it's like, it's hard. I know I'm going to have to lean on you so much during this pregnancy, and like that's starting to kind of weigh on me because I like to think of myself as a pretty independent person. Like I just like being able to do whatever I want to get done. Like, and just like if I want to sweep the floor or vacuum or dust the baseboards, or like if I'm in a nesting phase of some sort and I want something clean, I want it done. And and you're willing to help me, of course, on like the necessities and stuff, but like there's
detail work you like to do and that you like to see done.
And it's not necessarily that I like doing it. I just like it being done.
Right.
And we're not like rolling in dough or anything to like have all the maids come do it. So
yeah, we don't have any maids come do it.
Yeah. And so it's like if I'm laid up, unable to do this stuff, it just works on my anxiety too. So it sucks.
Yeah, I mean, and it doesn't help either, too, that it's been actually. Did I get you here? You want this
damn
one?
wood coaster.
I'll give you
Here,
this,
I got this
neoprene one.
I got this.
You good? It doesn't help either that it's actually been really nice outside.
Yeah.
That like perfect walking weather, stuff like that.
So rainy over the weekend, and then Monday, it was like beautiful. And
it's been beautiful all week, like perfect walking weather, and foot's bummed out.
Yeah, and like we have 3 dogs that would love to be on a walk right now. So trying to get their exercise in stationary in the backyard is interesting. And they're in their own little war with the neighbor dog. So we're like in the middle of training them to not try to like kill the neighbor dog, and everything's fine. That's just the next door neighbor. He loves you.
there's a protocol now for when I'm not home with the dogs too. Yeah. Like you're not allowed to let them out, but with like the 2 big ones out, but one at a time if I'm not here.
Yeah, because
they get riled up and they start like trying to correct each other because they're excited that there's another dog next door. And
well, there's a fence between them too, so everybody gets a little bolder because there's a fence. Like if there were just dogs meeting dogs, it'd be a lot more level ground. But everybody feels a lot more emboldened to be a jerk because they're like, you can't get me. What?
Yeah. Well, you did we even talk about this? I don't think we did.
I don't think we did.
You were home by yourself, working from home, and I'm working, at work. We talk all day through the internet or on the phone or whatever. But you hit me up and you're like, 2 of the dogs are fighting with each other. Like, and I'm like, all right, you're pregnant. You don't need to be worrying about splitting up dogs that are going at each other. Mm-hmm. Like,
I agree.
So it's been interesting, but I think we're getting it under control. I think it's more so for them, it was like a shock because our neighbors just put up their adjoining fence. Mm-hmm. So now that dog is out more than it was before.
Well, and this is a puppy too. Like,
she's not less than a year old. Yeah, he's less than a year old. I'm sorry.
It's not a dog that's like been living next door, because we have dogs on the other side. They never bother ever.
Don't ever pay attention to them.
Yeah, like there's been
they bark a lot more than the new dog.
Yeah, they come up to the fence. Like they've never had any issues with those dogs, but the puppy for some reason just whole new ball game. And so it's been a week. It's been a week. We do have limping around and stuff.
Well, the other thing that I was kind of thinking about, and we kind of led into it today when we were sitting having breakfast before coming down to record. You were looking up things on the internet for us to talk about that turned into a wormhole about what people go through.
Oh God.
But you also kind of did it with your foot too. You WebMD'd yourself into a corner.
Well, I mean,
the dangers of WebMD.
Listen, I didn't think I had like foot cancer, which is normally what WebMD will do to you. I was just looking at okay, so my brother-in-law was thinking Liz Frank sprain. I talked to my mom. She has similar pain, and she's been diagnosed with Morton's neuroma, which is like basically a
neurological. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a growth around the nerve that's in your foot, and I was having trouble like moving my last 2 toes for a couple days, which is there's a similar nerve in your elbow that your father actually had pinched at one point.
Ulnar.
And your ulnar nerve, and you can't move your last 2 fingers. So
they go numb. Yeah. You might actually, some of you out there, if you have office jobs, you may have experienced it before. If you ever been sitting at a desk for a long time and you notice that your pinky and your ring finger have gone to sleep, that's usually because you're leaning on your elbow on your ulnar nerve, and it just makes them go numb.
Yeah. So there was things like that, fallen arches is something that pregnant women get because of the same hormone relaxin. And so I was like looking up arch supports, and I ended up putting my tennis shoes on because walking barefoot was way more painful than walking with my like actual supportive tennis shoes that I got for my birthday recently. And so I was like, well, maybe it is. I need some arch support. But your brother was saying normally that's going to present with pain towards the inside of the foot, not the outside of the foot, which is where I was having it. So we talked through a bunch of the WebMD options I talked about too, and it's most likely still a sprain, but I wanted to run some of those ideas by him to make sure.
He put your mind at ease pretty good.
Really
because you told him pretty specifically like what motions hurt, because you were drawing the alphabet with your foot when you rehab an ankle.
I sprained my actual ankle. This is in my actual foot, like the top of it, but I've sprained my ankles, both of them, dozens of times.
Track stuff,
yeah, basketball, track, all of that. And just I sprained it in August walking in the yard after the dogs. I just found the perfect hole to sprain my ankle in.
Roll that ankle hard.
So I've done a lot of rehab before, so thankfully I had like a few bases to like give him answers to questions commonly asked by a physical therapist. She's just like clawing into his eyes right now when they play. Sorry, the dogs are at it. She's gripping her claws into his eyes. And he's just putting up with it.
He loves her. So
the
little puppy. But yeah, it's been interesting because you've been down and out. So it's been tough on you.
It sucks to be injured. And so it's kind of got my head in a weird space because this is a foot injury. Like I've hurt my back before too. Like I've had a slip disc before, which will definitely put you down for the count. And I've started thinking about, what's going to happen with labor. There's a lot of horror stories out there. There are good stories too, and I have to keep that in mind. But no matter what, there's going to be recovery and downtime. And I'm like getting anxious about that.
Well, and here's the thing. You have to think about those stories too, a lot like people reviewing items on the internet.
Yeah.
Who's going to go out of there? If you get an item that you love and it's working great, very rarely on average is the average person going to go and do a good review for it. Most likely you're going to get the reviews from the people who are like, this item sucks.
Yep.
This birth process sucked. I'm giving it 1 out of 5 stars.
No, the best reviews are never gave birth, but 1 out of 5 stars. I hear it's horrible.
Yeah, no joke. No joke. People are just kind of like, couldn't find the place. 1 star. I think we found, when we were in California, we were looking for, this was like 3 or 4 years ago, we were looking for breweries to go visit, and we found one, and I was like, it was like 4.9 out of 5 stars, and like it's all excellent reviews. I was like, we were just kind of sitting there, kind of killing time. I was like, I want to find this 1-star review that did this, and it was literally someone was like, couldn't find the place, terrible location, 1 star. They didn't even go. So silly.
People are mad about life, man.
People get so mad.
Oh, it was yeah. So I'm kind of not liking that I am going to be semi-helpless for a little while afterwards. Like, that is a weird feeling.
Well, and that feeling, it doesn't help if you're I think what's been extra hard for you this week is you've been laid up, like you said. So being laid up, all you can do is lay there and think. You don't have the ability to get up, go outside, distract yourself with something.
Take your mind off something, yeah.
And I got to stress, like, something I've learned over since you've been pregnant, and especially since this week, is, man, I would say treat yourself to a really nice pair of like athletic shoes.
Oh God, yeah.
When you get pregnant, or if you are pregnant and you don't have them, like, get yourself a nice new pair.
Don't wear ballet flats. Don't wear things without support. Don't walk around barefoot. My favorite. I hate shoes. I want to walk. I want my life to be barefoot, but it is not gonna be possible, it seems like. And you were asking me, you were like, so when's this hormone kind of let up? And I was like, it doesn't.
Right.
It's got to work for the next 6 months.
And it's your whole body, so like you might as well protect what you can, because it could have. I mean, obviously, we all know people that didn't have foot problems when they were pregnant, but it could. So why not go the extra step and just have a nice pair of shoes? I mean, you like to walk around the house and with your bare feet all the time. Yeah. Now you're like, I guess I'm shoed up the whole time now.
It's way better than having this pain. And like, I'd had knee problems the week before. Like, we've got dog gates all over the house, so you kind of have to do like unless you're going to move the gate every time you go past one, I have to do like kind of a hurdle motion to get over it. So you have a lead leg and then your trail leg where you got to pull it behind you. Well, that wide sweep trail leg motion messed up my knee or something. Like, now I got a little tweak in my knee, and that was
better now.
Yeah, that's a little bit. I mean, it's still a little sore, tender, but it's like, for a minute I couldn't go up the stairs very well because every time I went to bend and push off my knee.
What'd you say? It was like the movie Death Becomes Her.
I definitely felt like
two
Goldie
people out there
Hawn,
are going to
Meryl
understand
Streep.
what we're saying. But
yeah, we mentioned that movie to your brother and sister who are a little bit younger than us last night.
It was just one of those moments where it's like, blink, blink, blink. Okay.
Yeah, sure. Sounds like a great movie. I'm like, it's a Bruce Willis movie, guys. Goldie Hawn, Meryl Streep. Anything?
Nope.
Nothing? Crickets?
Nope.
Oh, shoot. Okay.
Which is on your list of movies we need to watch soon.
Yeah, Down Periscope, Galaxy Quest. I'm like, and Airplane. There's like a bunch of really silly movies I want to watch now.
Yeah, you found it like an interesting like subreddit or not. I'm sorry, a Reddit post where it was like, "Hey, I've had a long, hard week at work. Give me some funny movies to watch."
Yeah, so I'm needing that in my life right now too, because we've been watching like Korean zombie like shows and things about demons and lots of horror after Halloween.
Oh man,
it's been so great. Good. Yeah, it's been great. I
really hope this kid likes horror.
But I want comedy. I want to laugh my little butt off. And honestly, I haven't seen Galaxy Quest more than once. And I've never seen Down Periscope all the way through. So I was like, yeah, we're gonna watch those.
That'll be good. So obviously, we're only a couple of weeks out we're less than a couple of weeks out from Thanksgiving, aren't we?
Mm-hmm. It is.
It'll be a week from this coming Thursday?
Yeah, so we're like 11 days out.
Yeah.
Like 12. Yeah.
So we've been talking about it more and more, and obviously the pandemic is a thing, and we're all very aware of it. And rather than getting better, it's only gotten worse. Yeah. I mean, now that the weather's gotten colder, people have gone inside, cases are going back up. We've made the decision that we're going to stay home for the holidays. Definitely for Thanksgiving, most likely for Christmas too. I don't know how many of you out there are choosing to do the same thing. You feel free to write into us and, let us know what your plans are and how you plan to kind of deal with that. I think what we're doing, we had a big Zoom meeting with my brother, who's the physical therapist, and his wife. And what we're talking about doing is getting some food, getting some, a one main, whatever dish, like a ham or something like that, maybe a turkey, and just getting our own sides, and then just getting together on Zoom, having as normal of a holiday as we can, just sitting down and eating together and just talking.
And we said I talked with my mother too, and she understands. My
I got to talk to my parents. I don't know.
Yeah, good luck with that. My grandparents aren't getting any younger, so I asked her if we could set up a Zoom of our own earlier in the day so we could see each other and say hello and show off the baby bump, because that's the worst part about it is like pregnancy is sort of isolating in a way, because you're going through this thing that most of the people around you aren't going through. I happen to have two people go like very, very close to due dates with me, so I got some support there. But like, especially with a pandemic, it's even more isolating because there's so many extra precautions to take, just because it's so unknown what could happen, and it's not, to me and you, worth the risk to be wrong if we chance something, because you can't take it back. So I really wanted to see my mom, wanted to see my grandparents, but it's just, can't, like, if we make the wrong call, you can't undo it. So
it's one of those. I was sitting down and talking with a friend yesterday, and it's just, we were discussing how it's just not worth the risk just because of tradition. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because it's a tradition that everyone's used to, there's people who are going to be mad about it. There's people who are going to hopefully not be mad about it, but just be kind of like upset about it. But
I'm trying to think, when was the last time we saw my grandparents? Did we see them for Mother's Day?
I feel like it was Mother's Day.
Okay. So we have seen them once since everything kicked up, but
yeah, we've been there once since the pandemic.
Mother's Day was like way less cases were going on. Like,
yeah.
So it's,
and it's, people are going to not understand. But I think they will in the long run. If they love you, they're going to eventually understand. Like, they might be hurt because they're used to being the ones hosting. I think, honestly, I was talking to our friend, like, and I was thinking it might be semi-easy because we already kind of switch off holidays
a little bit
with families, because we have, we obviously have your side of the family, we have my side of the family. Everybody's been,
and my
divorced and remarried, and like, so it's kind of like a thing where we have to kind of pick, especially with Thanksgiving. We be like, all right, we're going to see these people. Like,
well, and my other side of my family lives in Florida, so
right.
some holidays, we have to go see them sometime. Like,
right.
So everybody's got to deal with the fact that we're either scheduling around that, or those plans have to also be included. And so everybody's kind of gotten used to us having to pick and choose a little bit.
And the unknown factors as far as how it affects ladies that are pregnant, it's just not worth it. You're already considered high risk, and it's more worth us, having a little bit of an isolated and a quieter holiday, but it doesn't change the fact that we love those people. It's not like we don't want to see them.
Yeah, I mean,
and that's the point to get across. Like, it's delicate. You know how it's different to talk to each individual person in your family. Like, you got to talk. Like, you can be more straightforward with your mom, whereas you can't. You got to dance around a little bit, maybe with your dad or something like that. It's
no, and honestly, I thought I would, but my dad and my stepmother have been super understanding, especially with the pregnancy.
I was just giving those as examples.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so. I know what you mean. Like, my family, thankfully, has been pretty good. My immediate family, I haven't personally talked to any extended family, so God knows what they're saying. But my immediate
they'll get over it. I'm not worried about them.
My immediate family is like, you take care of you and the baby, and you're good to go, and we will catch you next year, hopefully. So, and
honestly, anybody who doesn't understand that, like,
oh yeah, no.
It's, you're kind of like, well, then what exactly?
They're gonna have
is
to
this for you or is this for me?
Well,
like, who is this for?
Yeah,
so,
I'm not real worried if they don't understand. I need to know in my head if I need to prep for that. You can go jump off a bridge conversation.
Right.
I was going to say something else and I caught myself. But
you were almost on the board.
I was almost on the board.
All right. Yeah, I've lost 2 weeks in a row, by the way.
Yes, you have.
I'm being very careful. I'm choosing my words carefully right now.
Didn't you have a couple beers last time? Didn't that help me win?
That was the time before last.
The time before last, okay. Yeah.
But yeah, so we've kind of decided that. I think that we've already come this far. I think that's the point. Is like you've already come this far. If you've been careful, you kind of throw it out the window if you decide to. All right, well, I'm just gonna go ahead and go out and.
I'm going to a big family gathering at the worst peak.
The worst possible time.
Yeah, the worst peak. Like we ended up before we got pregnant. I had contracted to do a job for somebody in Minnesota, and it was supposed to be in May, but because of the pandemic, it got moved to August. Mm-hmm. And it turned out the moving it to August was slightly worse than it would have been in May, but it still wasn't nearly this bad.
No,
and we didn't know.
It wasn't.
Was it August? It was August, right?
Well, yeah, and the numbers there were way down.
Yeah, so
way down.
We didn't know.
A lot better than here. We were more likely to get it going to the grocery store here than we were to go up there.
Yeah, and technically I was pregnant, but we didn't know that yet. So it was. We got back and found out. And we were like, uh-oh.
We found out after the fact.
We were like, stay inside for 2 weeks. We need to make sure everything's okay.
We've been very lucky, and I'm not going to lie. It is a bummer to be super careful. It does kind of wear on your, on your nerves, on your mental state, because, we're social people.
Especially being hurt. Like 2 weeks in a row. Like my knee was 1 week and then my ankle was the next. And it's like the one thing that was kind of evening us out was when the weather was good, we could go take the dogs on a walk, or even just throw the ball with the dogs and then we just go on a walk, so we didn't have to like hold somebody's leash and train them the whole time,
right?
Because we got a puppy. But we've been inside for 2 weeks now. I'm just like, okay, can you just drive me around the city? Like we'll stay in the car.
I went to pick up some food and you were like, can I just ride? And I was like, you know what, we're gonna take the long way so you can see things.
It was really sweet, y'all.
I'm gonna let you see the town.
It's the little things that make marriages work.
But yeah, it's just not. It's just being careful, and we just don't want to throw all that out the window just because we're because we do look forward to the holidays. We really do enjoy getting together with our family, and we really look forward to our Christmas Eve tradition at my dad's house, because we get to see all the siblings usually. Almost all of them are there.
And our families are just as crazy as y'all's. Don't think we're out of the woods with any of the craziness that goes on at the holidays, but we know we love them and we want to see them.
Yeah. Well, I think what bugs us is just like with any big family. I'm sure with your family, if you're listening, you've got people who don't take it seriously and they don't think it's a big deal, and or they think they're being careful. That was an interesting thing that we talked about with my brother last night was family members who were like, "Oh, I'm being careful," but they showed that they haven't been careful in the past. So you're kind of skeptical of what their version of careful is versus yours.
It's not understanding how virus transmission works. So they think, if I go to the grocery store and wash my hands when I get back, I can still hang out with eight of my friends on the patio with no masks and stuff like that.
Right.
And, or, I'm wearing a mask. I'm sanitizing my hands when I touch a really high traffic surface. But I also work in an office environment with a bunch of really uncareful people. And they're like, no, I'm fine. I've been really careful. And it's like, yeah, but the 12 people in your office haven't been.
Right.
They're even talking about how it's dumb.
We
work with them every day.
And you have to, there's a balance too. You can't let it completely cripple what you're trying to do in life, but you are as careful as you can be, but it's hard to see if other people are, because depending on who they're surrounded with, it's easier for us because me and you, honestly, even when I work at home a week, I work on the office a week, but even when I'm at the office, there's nobody in the office with me because I have a coworker that I switch back and forth with, and when I do see people, it's a very socially distant thing, and it's very rare because I'm doing a lot of remote work. So we've got the benefit of not having to go to an office right now that has a lot of people that could be bringing it in.
Well, and now they're there's just so many new things they're learning about it. It seems like every month, there was a study that came out showing that people in shared forced AC and like central air environments, like apartment buildings and stuff. People that isolated for weeks and didn't leave their apartment were catching it, and they found traces of coronavirus in the AC units. So it was basically like feeding all the apartments and stuff. So you're just like, all right, so shared office environments, hospitals, like things like that share their air system. It's just like recirculated air on a plane, like, which, airlines are saying it's safe. And I like to believe that. Like, I don't like to be super skeptical person, like super conspiracy person, but I'm just like, you know what? It's just, I don't have to go anywhere right now. Like,
do you think you're going to feel better after the baby arrives?
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. Oh, I mean, I'm still going to be cautious.
I mean, obviously you're going to feel better, but I mean,
I'm still going to be cautious because like 1 in 5 people end up in the hospital with this thing. Like, I don't want hospital bills. I don't want to have trouble breathing for 6 months. And we're not even sure if we didn't already have it. And we had trouble breathing for a long time after we got sick earlier in this year. But it was like before testing was available because it was before anybody knew it was widespread. But
yeah, it was February before.
Yeah. So I'm not interested in getting hooked up to any machines or getting a nice ICU bill or any of that. I'm not interested in ongoing health problems. I'm certainly not interested in whatever it could possibly do to a fetus. Like, so yes, I'll feel a lot more secure once she's out and like able to build her own immunities, and we can like get her some vaccines and things like that once those have been nice and tested. But right now I'm immunocompromised. She's still building immunity. Like, it's just such a dicey situation,
Yeah. It's not easy. I mean, we had a buddy come over. He had to pick up some equipment for a project he's doing. I had to do the meet him outside. We both wore masks. We talked for a little while, but we're standing in the driveway talking with masks on.
Y'all were distant from each other too. I actually peeked out the window to be like, "Are y'all being careful?"
Oh yeah, you peek out. We're just like hugging each other, like talking into each other's ears.
No, not at all.
But no, it's not what you want to do. It's just what you have to do. And I'm glad I have people in my life that understand that.
Yeah, man. It's like, it's been weird because when my mother works in an office environment, so if we have seen her the few, like 2 times we've seen her since this has been going on, like, it's weird to not hug my mom while I'm pregnant with her first grandchild. Like, so weird. And it makes me angry. It sucks. There's nothing I can do about it. So I can't dwell on it.
You get to miss out on some of that, like, I'm pregnant adoration, which, I mean, not that you need that, but like, it's still nice.
Like being the center of attention.
To be doted on,
Well, and it's not even about the doting. It's like celebrating what's happening in like our family's life. Like, our wedding day with like being the center of the attention, walking down the aisle was awful to me. Like, so not that part. Like, I'm not looking forward to like baby showers in the like all attention is on you thing.
The traditional sense. Yeah.
I'm not big on that, but like, I am very excited about the baby. Like, and I want to be the person like with everybody being like, oh my gosh, there's a baby coming. Like, and
it's kicking. Come here.
Yeah. Like,
right.
And that is just not the world we're in right now, which sucks.
So it's important to celebrate the little things, though, right? Like, it's important to focus on these.
Our crib's coming.
The crib is coming. That's what I was about to say.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. That's what I was leading toward. I was like, your mother and your grandparents have figured out what kind of crib we figured out what kind of crib we wanted, and we told them, and they were like, well, it's going to be there next week. And we're like, what? So I get to clear out a bed and move some stuff.
I gotta find crib sheets. I was showing you crib sheets that were like $100 on Etsy. People think very highly of their crib sheets, y'all.
I don't think the baby's gonna mind if there's
whatever they're spitting up on. They don't care if it's $100 or $20.
If she's picky about color this early on, we're gonna have big problems. we're gonna have big. She's like, I will not lay on this. You will not lay me down on this.
Yeah. So I can't wait.
Like, all I can think about is Look Who's Talking. And it's just like, it's what's her name? Why am I blanking on her?
Kirstie Alley?
No. The comedian that died, the lady, Joan Rivers.
Oh, okay.
Joan Rivers was, she was the original female baby voice at the end of Look Who's Talking. She didn't end up being, I think it was Rosie O'Donnell ended up being the baby voice in the sequel. But
isn't Bruce Willis the baby voice? The boy?
Michael Keaton, I thought.
I can't remember. Hey, can we pause? I have to pee.
You have to pee?
I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
Part of it. I've had so much water.
Go ahead. This is another pee break sponsored by.
Who's it sponsored by?
Who's it going to be sponsored by? Publix eggnog.
Hola.
You were correct, by the way.
Bruce Willis?
Bruce Willis was the voice of Mikey, and at the end of the movie, Joan Rivers was the voice of Julie, which was the new baby, like right at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Can we talk? And then I think it ended up being Bruce Willis and Rosie O'Donnell in the Look Who's Talking To.
Yeah.
But yeah, and just picture the baby saying that, like, don't lay me on those sheets. It's a horrible color. Who picked out dinosaurs? This is terrible.
Oh, we know what side of the family she's going to get that from. Great. If she doesn't like dinosaurs, we're definitely going to have a problem.
Yeah, we're going to have to force that on her.
Yeah, I think the Jurassic part is going to be a staple.
Sorry, it's just going to play on loop while you can't do anything with your dumb digits.
I don't care. I don't give a damn if it's not scientifically accurate anymore.
Yeah, we're getting the crib. We're going to get that in place, which is going to be cool. Going to be awesome.
Yeah, we got some prints for the nursery wall too.
What kind of crib is it? Let's describe this crib.
It's a 4-in-1. It's like a convertible crib, and it's got a changing table attached to it too with drawers. So it should be good for organization, changing table. I've read plenty of places they're like, you're not going to use your changing table in the nursery as much as you think you will, because you're going to be you're not going to want to run to the nursery every time there's a diaper. But I think it'll be useful to have one in the room for nighttime, and then also the pack and play bassinet combo that we're looking at has a changing table on it too. So
yeah, and we're slowly like putting together the list of things we want and need and stuff like that. There's
a lot.
There's a lot, but I think that if we organize it in a fashion that we get we have the things up front that we really want.
Yeah, because I mean, there's a lot of things you don't need till the baby's 6 months old. Like, so you go in waves and just remember the stores are always open. Knock on wood, because
no joke.
Pandemics change things apparently, but
we're just gonna have a closet full of diapers.
Yeah,
just a closet full of diapers.
God, it might be a good idea if the pandemic's still like going on and there's no vaccine in sight or something like that. Like, get some cloth diapers and just bite that bullet.
Yeah.
Oh, hiccups. Sorry.
Hiccups.
I do.
Yeah, right there. That's some waffles. You've been on a waffle kick the past 2 weekends, 3 weekends now. This will be the third weekend in a row we've done waffle morning.
They've been so good.
On Sunday before we record, too.
I love them. They're semi-easy. Today's first one did not turn out. For some reason, stuck. I was very upset.
None of them stuck before, but that one did. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it may have been just too hot.
I think so, too. So we fixed that little red wagon, but
we've had that darn waffle maker for... I think we got it as a wedding present.
I think so too, yeah.
And we've had it for forever. So it's like, this is the most use it's ever gotten. I think it got one use before this.
Yeah. Yeah. So we've used it 3 weekends in a row now. And it's been awesome.
But isn't that like, for a really detailed, detail's not the right word, for a really specific small appliance, that's pretty good to have used it 4 times.
Yeah.
Like, people who have quesadilla makers, like, how often are you doing that?
Well, and this is the thing about a waffle too, is you can make other stuff in it. It's just
messy.
It's messy.
It's really hard to clean.
It's not terrible to clean. But
if you get sticky stuff on it, it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
So many crevasses.
We have many appliances that are easier to clean than this. It's not terrible. It was a lot easier when it was acting like a nonstick. We didn't scrape it with anything or put any harsh substances on it, and it's only been cleaned with like damp washcloths, like in the directions to say.
All right.
So I don't know what the problem is, but we'll figure it out.
Waffles with the kid, gonna be fun.
I can't wait. Whipped cream, strawberries, all of it.
Whipped cream, strawberries. Don't touch that. It's hot. Please don't touch that.
Oh,
it's hot.
Did you burn your finger today?
I did burn my finger today. I burned my finger and almost lost my pinky. All right. Scare the hell out of her.
Oh.
So crib's coming. So we should have some pictures, hopefully, of the crib in the next little bit. The other plan is to before things get too out of hand and we're too far down the road with the pregnancy, we're trying to get a dining room table built.
Okay, we gotta paint a bathroom, dining room table built, put a banister up, get the electrical in the house checked out just to make my brain go at ease. We got some plumbing repairs. There's a lot to do, y'all.
There's a lot to consider with the house. And we put a pause on the fire pit we were talking about doing.
Yeah, I don't think we need to jump into that right now. We got other things to worry about first. So.
And this is
you get to put up fire or smoke detectors.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You're excited about that, aren't you?
Well, and new things that happened this week have kind of put a light on the fact that we need to do these things because you've been getting offers of people to come help.
Yeah.
Mainly being your stepmother.
Mm-hmm.
And so we may be having visitors for a few weeks. But more so not right after birth, but probably more so when we're getting ready to go back to work.
Yeah. So we got to have this house in tip-top shape for guests, so people feel comfortable being sweet enough to come help us, and we can't just let it be the hellhole we're okay with. So,
and I think we do a pretty good job.
Yeah.
Of keeping it clean for us.
We have 3 dogs, and
it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work.
And we're gonna have a baby, so
it's gonna be a lot more work.
Yes.
Nonstop laundry, nonstop cleaning.
Anxiety is building now again.
Look.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
Just gotta let it happen, man. You're just gonna feel your way through it.
Easy for you to say. Look, easy for you to say, sir.
It'll be all right.
Yeah.
It'll be okay.
Be all right if you help with laundry.
I do help with laundry.
You do. I'm just saying. Keep it up.
Keep it going.
Please. And thank you.
Well, I'm excited about the crib. I think it's gonna be the next step of the room. You've actually looked at some stuff for going on the crib, like you've figured out kind of a mobile situation.
Oh yeah, we got a cute little. So her room's Peruvian themed because your family's from Peru, and we already kind of had a little bit of a Peru theme going on in that room.
There's some cutesy animal things you can do. Like, it's cool.
Yeah, so we got a little llama mobile I got my eyes on, and I need to probably put that purchase in once we get the crib going.
We bought some prints that we need to so we bought some digital prints off of Etsy that we can print out and put up in frames and stuff like that.
We need to figure out what size we want for that and get some frames for them. And then your dad brought over this really awesome alpaca fur rug that was his and his mom's.
Llama fur.
Is it llama or alpaca?
It's llama.
Okay, so we're gonna figure out where that goes in the room because it's beautiful and
very soft.
Very soft. Smells like his grandma's house.
It's weird, yeah.
Yeah.
So I took a sniff and took me back. I was like, holy crap.
So that thing's been in storage for a long time. So I did call a cleaner this week. I forgot to tell you about this. And I was like, so do you guys do fur? And they were like, yeah, we do. And, this is how much it usually costs for a jacket. It's like, yeah, to get that thing clean, it's going to be a couple $100.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Let's figure out a way to do that at home.
Yeah. We're going to have to treat it nicely.
Yeah. So. We're going to have to figure that out on our own because I'm not doing that.
I want to preserve it. So,
Yeah, because it's a real llama skin.
And and it's old.
It's old.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember being
It's in good shape for what it is.
Let's put it this way. I remember being a kid crawling around on that thing at my grandparents' house.
Yeah, so. And we'll probably hang it on the wall just to preserve it since we do have dogs and things like that. But we got to figure out a spot for it because that room, none of the rooms in our house are large by any means. So
no, they're normal size rooms.
Yeah.
So yeah, more progress coming up on the baby room. We will be putting some pictures of that up on the Twitter account. I've already put some pictures up of the actual room when you and your mother went through and cleaned everything out.
Oh yeah.
So it'll be nice to see progression. We'll bring in a bed downstairs. Are people still coming to get that bed?
Sure.
Apparently.
Yes.
It's and what's funny is it's actually the bed we're gonna eventually give to her when she gets big enough for a full size bed.
It was my bed when I was in middle school, so
yeah,
I think that, and it's a cool bed. I saw it I saw this same bed, the exact same bed at an antique shop last year. Maybe way early this year. I can't remember. Time is no meaning anymore. But it was like $600 for just the frame, and I was like,
"Whoa,
that's my bed."
You colored it not too long ago too. It was like a brass frame bed, right?
Yeah, it was white and brass. It was painted white with brass accents, and I painted it all black. Gave it a nice goth overtone.
Looks more like a wrought iron now. Yeah. It looks really cool.
It's so funny too. When we were still talking about getting pregnant, and this was pipe dreams in the future and stuff. My mom and I love to go antiquing, and we saw this really gothic baby crib at one of the antique shops down the road. And
Like Addams Family Gothic?
Yes, like Addams Family Gothic. Like beautiful, beautiful Victorian style, but super goth. And I was like, oh my God, what if we got that crib? And the only thing that kept me, it was not bad. Like, it was not bad priced at all. The only thing that kept me from buying it was I was like, I don't know what the like safety specifications for cribs should be. And if it's this beautiful and old, they're probably not up to date. But I was like, oh, it'd be nice. It'd be nice to have like this gorgeous antique in the house. Because it would totally work with the room, like still, but it will.
Alas, we're getting the Target special.
It's gonna work for when she's a toddler. When she's a little bigger than that, it'll even carry her to where she's like not quite big enough for the queen size, but it's a little full child size bed.
Yeah.
So
you remember the excitement? I don't know if you remember when you got your first like real like bed that wasn't just like a little twin size bed.
I think it was the one we have. Yeah.
It was such a weird feeling. You're like, this is such a big bed. You're so used to your little twin size bed that you had.
I think I went from a twin to the one we have, which is a queen. And I was like 13, maybe 14. And it was like, oh my gosh.
You feel like this is like a new room.
Yeah.
It's like a new room. It's such a weird feeling to get when you're a kid and you get to your first full size bed, right?
Mm-hmm. So she'll have plenty of room to grow. Like, yeah, and we've been looking at a lot of multitasking baby things. Like the stroller we want is like the stroller car seat we want is an all-in-one kind of travel system. The pack and play also has a bassinet and a changing table, like all that stuff on it. So hopefully we'll get a lot of like multiple use things.
I'm kind of excited about the potential of a Brezzo.
Oh yeah, so we discovered this formula Keurig. Basically, it's like a Keurig for baby formula bottles.
Spits it out at like the perfect mixture, the perfect temperature.
Yeah,
Press a button.
You just press one button, and
it feels so lazy, but I think I'm going to love it so much.
I think it's going to be necessary, like for sleep deprivation and all that stuff. And yeah, we still
you got a friend that swears by it.
She loves it. Yeah. And she didn't breastfeed. We kind of intend on trying. We'll see how it goes. My family had some trouble in their history with it, so we'll see how it goes. But I definitely think that we're gonna need formula on hand at some point. Like, but I don't see why we wouldn't want to make our lives easier somewhere. Like, and that same brand also has like an awesome baby food maker that like steams the food and blends it all at the same time with like easy to clean, not many moving parts. And I'm just like, yep.
And little containers and all that stuff.
Yeah. I mean, and it's so extra, but I'm just like, listen, anything one press right now, I'm up for, because all this stuff isn't going to wash itself. Like anything that can streamline this process and keep us like from spending a ton of extra money. Although my friend was like, listen, you're going to end up buying baby food. It's way easier. And Publix has it on sale every other week. So it's worth it. But she recommended us stick with just a normal food processor and steam the food and see if we like making it before we go invest in that, which is not terribly expensive.
Well, and it's also not something you need right away.
Yeah.
It's going to take a long time.
6 months in or something like that.
But we're getting the Keurig. Sorry. It's happening. Even if I have to buy it, it's happening.
Do you want to make sure I don't have like enough milk or what?
It's whatever.
Yeah.
It'll be all right.
I was explaining to you how like pumping and storing breast milk, like organizational systems were happening.
Sounds terrifying.
You were like glazed over, eyes rolled back in your head, like too much work. I'm just like,
but you press a button on this thing.
Like, I have to pump regardless, man. Like that hurts if you don't.
Got to stop at some point.
Yeah, it's interesting. So
got to stop at some point. So we are moving into week 17 and pretty excited. Baby's the size of a large onion right now.
A large onion.
It's a large onion.
What's the nostalgia one?
What is the nostalgia?
I think it's a Pop-Tart. Yeah.
A Pop-Tart?
Pop-Tart.
Baby's as big as a Pop-Tart?
Baby's as big as a Pop-Tart.
All right. So I need to understand how a large onion and a Pop-Tart are similar.
I keep asking that too with the nostalgia versus the fruit comparison.
Are they going by like ounces maybe?
I don't know. The baby's 5.
I guess 5 inches, 5 ounces.
Yeah.
Probably about right for a Pop-Tart, right?
So that sounds about right, yeah.
I guess so. 23 weeks to go. The clock is ticking fast.
Shut up. My anxiety is through the roof today, man.
No, it's okay. It's all good. At a glance, getting ready to feed. Your little one is practicing sucking and swallowing as she is ready for the real thing, the breast or the bottle. Oof.
Yeah.
It's on the way.
It's coming.
Oh my goodness. Baby can hear you. You've actually been taking advantage of this lately too. Baby's sense of hearing is making big strides this week. Her ears are close to being fully formed, and she's starting to be able to hear your voice. You've been playing music for her.
Yeah. I've been like aiming the phone at the belly.
Yeah, you've set your phone like right next to your belly and letting it play whatever.
Let Spotify playlists go.
Well, you've been focusing on a particular type of music, or just all types of music?
Just all types, honestly. Like there's been like a lot of blues and there's classic rock and like
no jazz.
I don't like jazz. No, sorry, little one. And yeah, like pop music, rock, like lots of rock, obviously. Just a little bit of country, like just anything I think of. My mom's like, play classical music for her. I'm like, I have to sit through that too. And she's like, I played classical music for you. I was like, great, glad you did it. Sorry,
great, not doing it.
Like, I don't. It's not offensive or anything, but it's also not what I'm looking forward to listening to. So
yeah. Well, I mean, I think it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I've been talking to your belly.
You've been yelling at my belly.
What are you doing in there? Hello? Answer me.
Yes. Yes.
It's been funny.
So we're excited.
We do have a ultrasound this week.
Yes.
That's on Tuesday. And you're looking forward to that because you want to feel movement so bad.
I want to feel her moving around, man. Like we're at 17 weeks. We're almost at 18 weeks.
And I tried to soothe her mind. She's just so wanting to feel something. I'm like, some people feel it as early as 14 weeks. Some people don't feel it till as late as 23 weeks.
Yeah.
So it's okay. No one definite thing, but she wants to feel it so bad.
Oh, I feel it.
And she's jealous because her friend who's been pregnant before.
Yeah, she's on her second pregnancy, so she knows what to kind of feel for. But yeah, actually, both the girls that are pregnant with me, like this is both of their second. So I'm like, I'm the only newbie here. What am I looking for? What is it supposed to feel like? And like we were both reading, and it's supposed to feel like like butterflies near your pelvic bone or something. I think it was described as, and I'm just like, yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know I don't feel that yet. So
warming up. Fat stores are beginning to develop under your baby's skin. This provides energy and will help keep your little one warm and cute after a bath.
Yep.
A little pudgy.
We were reading about how to bathe the baby this week too.
A little pudgy.
We were learning about infant baths because you gotta start with the body, and then you don't wash the head till last because they lose all their heat out of their head. And you're supposed to put like a little dry towel on top of their head to keep them warm because babies get cold real easily. Apparently, yeah, it's crazy. So much to know.
There's a lot to know. Let's see.
You're not supposed to bathe them all the time because their skin's so sensitive.
If you're 17 weeks pregnant, then you're in month 4 of your pregnancy. Only 5 to go. Fingerprints are forming. Here's some proof that your baby is truly one of a kind. As if you needed any. Within the next week or so. They're so cheesy.
You're so cheesy.
Within the next week or so, the pads on your baby's fingertips and toes will become adorned with completely individual swirls that create creases. I'm sorry, that are their fingerprints.
Aw, shucks.
No crimes, child. We'll know who it is now. We'll know exactly who it is. Let's see. Here come the tummy touchers. No, they aren't. Now that you're starting to show, chances are that friends, coworkers, and even strangers,
nope,
may feel the urge to reach out and touch your tummy.
Anybody want to bail me out of jail? Stranger touch my tummy.
Yeah. Get you a little one of those batons.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Just break some knuckles.
Did you know there's an asp on this keychain?
Yeah. I have an asp here for you. Your growing appetite. Remember when you were so queasy you could barely stomach ginger ale and a cracker?
Oh, ginger ale sounds good.
And you got some upstairs?
Yes.
Happily, your toilet hugging days and nights are probably over. And happily, these days, it's more likely that you can't get enough to eat.
That's not true yet.
Yeah, your appetite's been not like gigantic.
Not. I mean, when I get hungry, I'm definitely hungry. But like,
I know
my
someone
portion
got tuna salad, not tuna, tuna. What is it? Tuna salad?
Yeah, sure.
Tuna salad and crackers at 1 a.m. last night.
We'll call it Southern tuna salad. It's basically mayonnaise and tuna.
Yeah.
But yeah, I haven't had tuna since I got pregnant, and the doctor said it was fine because it's got like they don't want you to have fishes that are high in mercury. Mm-hmm. Fishes is not a word. I know that. Sorry.
Fishes is a word.
Fish is plural in itself.
I think there are. You can say fishes too, though.
Okay, but anyway, I haven't had any at all since I got pregnant, like even before I knew I was pregnant. So I was like, I can have one. I can have one little pack of tuna.
Plural noun, fishes.
No joke. I almost got on the board there.
No, Skippy. But yeah, you had hunger hit you late last night. You were ready.
I don't know. Like, yeah. I mean, we didn't eat a whole lot yesterday. Like, we had a sub between the two of us because we woke up late. Like a full. Yeah,
we both got a whole sub from Publix. Dude, Publix is sponsoring this episode. We got a whole sub each from Publix. Had half of it for lunch, half of it for dinner.
Yeah, and I wasn't really hungry until it was like 1 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, I want.
We stayed up late on Zoom with the siblings.
Yeah, it was nice to catch up and just hang out. It almost felt like they were just like at our house having beers. Like, it was nice.
It's interesting because I'm always surprised at how long like those. Usually with some people, you hop on Zoom and it's only like a real quick
hour.
Yeah, maybe you just 30 minutes or whatever, but we end up going like 2 and 3 hours with them.
What can you even talk about in 30 minutes?
I think we went 4 hours last night with them.
No, we got on at like 7 or 7:30 and we didn't sign off until close to 1. So 5.
Wow.
Yeah.
We get along.
We like them. They're great. But the portions on my meals are still smaller than I expected. And yeah, we've been trying to think of ways to kind of amp up the diet and make sure I get the right amount of calories while not like, getting gestational diabetes and not giving too many unnecessary fats to the baby because, I don't know, you looked up some study the other day that said that like a high fat diet can lead to slower learning in a child. And I was like, geez, I guess no more avocados.
Yeah, all that mayo is making your child dumb.
Oh, great.
You just got a brain full of mayo, kid.
I mean, I think we do pretty good on our food. Like we have fast food, but we don't have it regularly. Like we're not saints, but we're not the worst when it comes to our diet. So I mean, and there's definitely been sugar around the house, but I also feel like it's been like one thing a day, if that. So I'm trying to be conscious of the healthy things, but also like I need calories, man. I need them.
Yeah. What's behind your increase in appetite? Simple. You're taking signals from your baby, who's getting bigger and hungrier. Not sure exactly how much weight you should gain during pregnancy? Talk to your practitioner, who will be able to assist you to maintain healthy weight gain. You still haven't gained a ton.
I haven't gained any.
So
I'm still recovering from the loss of the first trimester. So
yeah,
which is why we're trying to get pounds on. So
trying to get pounds on. Like we still got a few weeks to really be concerned.
Yeah,
because your doctor's like 20 weeks. You should really be starting to put it on.
Yeah.
So it should be good.
And everybody's different. Like I'm already not a tiny person, so it's going to be a little different for me.
One inexplicable pregnancy symptom. I've noticed this: snoring.
Have I really? I meant to ask you about that.
Yeah, you've been snoring a little bit. Not bad.
Okay.
Not like bad. Not like my dad. My dad snores loud.
Well, I snore a little bit regardless.
A little bit, yeah. But not terrible. So I've noticed it some because you sleep on your back a lot. So it like that you're actually more apt to snore on your back. Mm-hmm. So
well, and I've been waking up stuffy. Apparently your sinuses swell like a good bit while you're pregnant, and I've been waking up like with one side or the other stuffy as all get out. So
what I was about to say here, but take heart. The stuffiness that often triggers world champion snoring is common. I don't think you're world champion yet, but we're still young into this. It's temporary. That's right. Even your nose is affected by pregnancy hormones. Try putting a humidifier in your bedroom. They told us this last week. Humidifier in your bedroom, using one of those nasal strips on your nose to open up your nasal passages.
Oh, I would do that.
Or sleeping on a couple of pillows to keep your head slightly elevated.
Okay. I got my maternity pillow that I could throw in the mix too.
Yeah, you do.
Love that thing.
Let's see. And if your partner complains, banish him to the sofa for the night. Am I right, girls? Am I right, girls? Put him on the sofa. It's more important that you get a good night's sleep. Hell with your sleep, husband. I have baby.
I love how important you think you are.
Right, girls?
I'm sorry.
Gee, I wonder who's writing this.
Somebody that's had to push a baby out of the vagina before.
Banish him to the couch.
I guess.
Banish him to the couch.
We at least have a guest bed for you. You don't have to sleep on the couch, baby.
No, I'm going to the couch. I will be uncomfortable out of protest.
You would do that. That's
I am stubborn like that.
If you were mad, you'll go definitely cut off your nose to spite your face.
Two perfectly good beds to lay in. I'm just like, I'm gonna curl up on this ottoman.
I just thought of Michael Scott when he and Jan were living together at the foot of the bed ottoman that was his bed.
Let's see. Increased appetite. We just talked about that. Stretch marks. The badge of pregnancy is hereditary. This badge of pregnancy is hereditary. So if you start finding some stretch marks on your body, it may be because your mother had them too. But if you gain weight at a steady rate instead of in big spurts, it may keep stretching gradual and as a result less extreme.
Possibly, yeah. I mean,
you're stretching. You're gaining. You haven't really started gaining all that much. But
yeah,
I think you're going to be a gradual gainer. I don't think you're going to be like explode overnight or anything.
Yeah, I mean, and
you were reading something today. Didn't someone put on like 60 pounds?
I mean, yeah, no, people put on a lot.
Oh,
I've known people that put on 80. Like, it's different for everybody. And
it's 54 to 60 is what you're supposed to gain if you're having twins, right?
Yeah, but I mean, I've known people that have one baby that put on 80 pounds.
That's nuts, man.
I mean, but they bounce back too. Like, it is crazy what the human body will do. And nobody's saying that that's like encouraged or anything, but
it's probably also more extreme for someone who's already tiny, though, right?
Yeah, most of the tiny people put on more. Yeah, like if you're overweight, you got some room to feed the baby in the meantime.
Right.
And you're probably, if you're overweight, you're probably already like me. I'm saying this with a mirror right in front of me. Like, you're taking in more calories on your normal days than you need. So the baby gets to benefit from some of that, like, and you don't see it as reflected. But
is it like the prepper version of like
I hate you.
The doomsday prepper version.
Are you saying that I've been packing on a beer belly for years as a doomsday prep for my baby?
Banish him to the couch. Am I right? Sleep on the couch. I've just been banished.
Yeah, I know my mom had stretch marks for me, but my mom was 5'2" and like 110 when she got pregnant with me, and I was a 23-inch long baby when I was born.
How much did you weigh?
I was 8 pounds even.
Whoa, you had more than me when you were born. Holy crap.
I was an 8-pound, 23-inch baby on a 5'2" woman. So I was.
How much weight did your mom put on, did she say?
She put on 45 pounds, I think.
Oh.
Yeah. So she put on a decent amount. Like, and, but like, think about that. That's 2 feet of baby on a 5-foot woman. Like,
that's a lot of baby.
She said I was just like in her ribs the whole time. So. Ugh. I'm 5'8", 9", like somewhere in between there. I think I lost a little bit when I hurt my back.
Yeah.
But so the babies might not be in my rib cage, thankfully. But I'm like, ooh, that's a big baby.
It's gonna be a big one.
That's a big baby.
Oh man. Oh man. Occasional headaches, whether hormones, fatigue, tension, or some other culprit causes your headaches. It's usually okay to take acetaminophen during pregnancy to alleviate the pain. Check with your practitioner first.
Headaches have been okay for the last couple of weeks. Like, not so bad. I had them for a minute. I had real bad headaches for a minute, but they've been okay.
Knees, on the other hand.
Jeez. We're just switching the body side that we're working on now.
You haven't had too much of this. Faintness or dizziness. Dehydration can cause dizziness. You've been drinking a ton of water.
Oh, my gosh. I live with the water cup in my hand.
Yeah. She also pees like nobody's business.
Y'all know that.
By drinking at least 8 glasses of water a day, I think you're well above that.
No problem.
Aim to drink more than that if you've been exercising. Heartburn and indigestion are also a thing. If you find yourself feeling the burn after a big meal, avoid lying down after eating to keep gastric juices in the stomach where they belong.
Yeah, I haven't had too much heartburn. I had a lot of heartburn before I got pregnant, and it hasn't been too bad since. But diet changes, I guess. So.
This is one we've been interested in is the backaches, because you've had back issues in the past.
Yeah, so we're keeping an eye on it.
Ease this common pregnancy symptom by making sure you have a supportive chair at work. You do.
I'm trying to sit up straight now.
And a firm mattress at home. I'm wondering about the firmness of our mattress lately.
It's a Tempur-Pedic, so it's not at all.
Yeah, it's been interesting because I've noticed I feel like I've been hit by a car some mornings when I wake up.
Yeah, I mean it's super cozy sometimes, but then at the same time you're like, I need a door to sleep under.
Yeah.
Or on top of, sorry.
I think sleep under a door.
Yeah, I'm going to sleep under a door.
Banish him to the door.
Banish him to the coffin. There we go.
But yeah, so let's see. What was I saying here? As a common symptom, make sure you have a supportive chair at work, firm mattress at home. Otherwise, get a cushion for your chair to place behind your back so you can keep your posture in line and in place. You've been using your Plex wheel.
Yeah. It's like a yoga wheel kind of thing that you can stick behind you and kind of keeps you upright.
Has that been helping?
Yes.
You were using this lumbar pillow that I have for my chair.
Which is still in play.
In play.
But yeah, and part of that is because, your ab muscles are expanding and separating to accommodate the baby, and we're
they can't support like they were.
Yeah, exactly. And I had no ab muscles really to speak of to begin with. Is why I had so many back problems, is because my core wasn't strong enough. After years of keeping it very nice and strong, I just let that go. Almost got on the board again.
You almost did. It almost sounds like I edited that out.
I know. You didn't. I just stopped myself, thankfully. But yeah. So the doctor told me I can't do ab exercises after 20 weeks. And I was trying to stay up on that.
Get your crunches in now.
Yeah, totally. That's
got 3 weeks of crunches.
I feel like it's only going to injure my back at the rate I'm going right now. So I start doing like crunches, it's just going to end up in traction. And okay, so don't let me forget to ask the doctor about this, but we have an inversion table that I haven't been on since I got pregnant, really. Like, I think I hopped on it once and then thought better of it, like while I was about to lay down.
You might not be able to turn, you like to invert all the way.
Yeah.
You might have to like set it to where you're doing.
Or I might not be able to get on it at all. And I've
one of the lesser planes.
Yeah, just remind me. I got to ask the doctor if I even am allowed to like use it, because.
Hey, make sure you ask the doctor when we go see him on Tuesday.
Can you help with that?
Can you help me?
But yeah, like, so we have like a little kind of like ring fit set up with a bike and a treadmill in our basement, and I'm like wanting to take advantage of that. But yeah, I got to be careful with the ab exercises, because I was talking to a coworker who's had 2 babies, and with her second baby, she's super fit and like real conscious of all that. She was doing Pilates, I want to say, she said. Anyway, something that engaged her abs, and she pulled an ab muscle at 20 weeks pregnant because of the relaxin hormone. Like, she was like, it was awful. It was absolutely awful. And so I'm like, anything to avoid that. That sounds horrible. I'm good on pregnancy injuries now. I don't want any more. Thank you. So
yeah, we're all full.
Yeah,
we're all full. Let's see here. What do we got? Tips for this week coming up. Breast growth is normal. Hormones and milk-producing glands are developing to prepare for nursing. All of this activity, plus an increase in blood flow, can boost the breast size up to 3 cups.
Ooh. That sounds like a back problem right there. That's back problems waiting to happen.
Every pregnant woman is different, though. Every pregnant woman's symptoms are different. While breast growth is the norm, and for some women, quite a lot of breast growth, you might not notice many changes at all in your breast size, especially if you're busty to begin with. You've noticed.
Yeah.
You've noticed for sure. This is probably going to be good for you too. Stretch to prevent sciatica.
Oh yeah, I definitely have sciatic pain normally.
The sciatic nerve is the largest in the body. Starts in the lower back, runs down the buttocks, and then branches down the back of the legs into the ankles and feet. I had mine lock up on me 2 weeks ago.
Yep, you did.
And I had to call out of work for like the first couple hours until I got it to release.
Oh yeah, it's the worst.
In most cases, sciatica, sharp shooting pain, tingling, or numbness that starts in the back or buttocks and radiates all the way down to the back of your legs. Happens when the nerve gets compressed by a bulging, slipped, or ruptured disc.
Yep.
Pointing at you. Arthritis, or by narrowing of the spinal canal, also known as spinal stenosis.
That's one thing that my orthopedic was worried about when it first started happening.
Try a heating pad or back stretches to ease the pain. You were actually stretching in there in the other room before we got started.
Yeah. So I've been trying to do some of those stretches just to try
Stretching's really good for you.
That's great, but
you have to be careful.
You can't overstretch. Exactly. Yeah. We both just pointed at each other when we said
you can't overstretch.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna put you on the couch for the night if you overstretch.
So yeah, I am trying to avoid extra sciatica at all costs. So far, knock on wood, it has been okay. We got a long way to go. I'm not getting my hopes up.
Here's something that's terrifying. Do you notice any tooth changes? A loose tooth?
No.
Question mark?
Hell no. No.
Hormones can affect the gums.
You're going to give me nightmares.
Hormones can affect the gums, ligaments, and bones of your mouth, loosening.
I'm going to go brush my teeth immediately after this.
Loosening the teeth and sometimes even causing them to fall out.
What the
What?
No.
This stops post-baby. Yeah, but does the tooth grow back?
What?
This stops post-baby. Your tooth just goes back into your mouth.
This is why I say men have no clue. No clue. There's no amount of housework you can ever do to repay what I'm about to have to go through.
If you have periodontitis, see the dentist now. You probably should go see the dentist anyway.
Oh, yeah. I'm due for one in December.
You going to mine? You going to yours?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Well, I don't know. Mine usually is booked out like 6 months.
I think I have an appointment with mine, so I'll check my calendar. I know one's coming up.
Oh, God. Loose teeth.
I can't think about that. I already have like those crazy loose teeth nightmares sometimes. Like,
you're going to be talking.
Shut up. You're trying to get me on the board with these horror stories.
We're ready to welcome this baby into the world. It's going to be crazy.
I'm totally. Once we get off the air, I'm brushing my teeth and flossing immediately. Oh my God.
Terrifying. Eat non-dairy calcium foods. If milk or other dairy products aren't your thing, you'll have to cash in on calcium a different way. Luckily, dairy products aren't the only way to get sources of calcium. They're just the most well-known. Calcium fortified orange juice or other fruit juices can offer about as much calcium as milk, cup for cup. For other non-dairy dietary sources of calcium, turn to green leafy vegetables, sesame seeds, almonds, and calcium-fortified soy products like extra firm tofu.
I like all those things. Good. Okay, I'm going to have some grapefruit juice after this too.
Your practitioner may also suggest
with
you
the
add
toothpaste. Yeah.
Oh, God, that made my mouth feel weird. Your practitioner may also suggest that you add a calcium supplement for extra insurance.
They make that calcium supplement that's basically like a chocolate cube. It's like a chewy chocolate cube. Yeah.
How does this work?
Don't sneeze. Don't do it. Oh, why'd you scream too? Bless you. Bless you. Screaming. You're gonna have to lower your mic on that in post. That actually got my ear.
Did it really?
Yeah.
It looks okay over here.
All right.
Sorry if I screamed in your ear. I turned away from the mic.
You did. Your mic's just that nice.
Let's see. Strange skin symptoms. Oh no. Seeing spots on your face.
Yeah, it's called acne. That's hardly let up.
A line down your lower belly. Skin tags dotting your upper arms.
No, nothing like that yet. The line on your upper belly is a really common one.
No need to dash to the dermatologist. These strange skin symptoms, including darkening moles and heat rashes, are normal and temporary. As usual, hormones are to blame, but the sun can make any of these complexion matters worse.
Oh, don't worry. I'm a hermit. I never go outside.
Yeah, you hurt your foot every time you walk out the door. So it's kind of like the couple in Beetlejuice. You just can't leave the house.
Yeah, I really. That is so true. Oh my gosh, I feel so much like Barbara and
Adam.
Okay, yep. I was like Alec Baldwin and Gina Davis was what I was going for.
Barbara and Adam. Let's see. As usual, hormones are to blame. Now it's time to invest in a wide-brimmed hat. You've got one of those.
Yeah.
And apply a broad spectrum of sunscreen, SPF 30 or higher.
Listen, this is where being pasty and Irish your whole life comes into play to benefit you, because we have so much sunscreen in this house.
Well practiced.
So much sunscreen.
Check out all skin eruptions with your practitioner. Eruptions. That's such a weird thing to say. Check out all skin eruptions at your next visit, and don't let them make you want to hide. Okay.
Fair enough.
At least it's nice outside. Like you could step out on the porch and not have to worry about.
Yeah. I've had acne kick up pretty well. It does seem like it's better now than it was in the first trimester, but it's not like better than it normally is. So we're there. We got some things happening.
Yeah. Well, and it's different. It's different acne than what you're used to.
Yeah.
Like yours is like a lot of little bitty,
teeny
tiny, like little bumps all over. Almost looks not quite like a rash, but like it just pops up and then it goes away, and then it pops up and it goes away.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird.
It's very weird.
Manage back pain. Back pain got you down. Instead of nursing it on the sofa, do some gentle yoga or Pilates. Both to help you stretch and loosen the spine and release tension, a major factor in back pain.
Dude, I'm telling you, the lacrosse ball trick. So
you love that thing.
Oh my gosh. So I did throw my back out when I went to visit a friend one time, and she was like, well, I was like, do you have like a tennis ball or something like that so I can like get this muscle to release? And she was like, we have a lacrosse ball. I had no clue what they were made out of, but it's way denser and a little bit bigger than a tennis ball, and it's perfect.
It's solid.
Solid through, and it's perfect to get muscles to release. Like, it's not pleasant.
It will make you scream.
It's a little intense.
It hits the right spot. You're like,
but they are invaluable to have around if you have like muscles that lock up on a regular basis or something. Like with my foot, the third day I was going through it, like my whole foot felt like it locked up. Like if you have ever thrown your back out and you know your butt and your hips and like everything locks and you can't move, my foot did that. And I eventually got desperate, didn't know what to do with it, and I was like, maybe if I roll it on the roll my arches on the lacrosse ball, and it totally helped it release a little bit. So I don't know, those things are magic.
It's painful to get things to release like that.
It is not pleasant, but I like.
But the relief afterwards.
Yeah, I like bit my lip and bared it.
Let's see. Ease the round ligament pain. Your uterus is supported by thick bands called ligaments that run from the groin from the groin up the side of the abdomen. As your uterus grows during pregnancy, these bands stretch to accommodate your growing bump, which can cause sharp pains and dull aches in the lower abdomen.
Yep.
To ease round ligament pain, make sure to spend time off your feet, decrease the intensity of your workouts, and consider wearing a belly band for a little extra support. A belly band.
I think we might be looking into a belly band.
Really?
Yeah. I think that's going to be good because...
Oh, yeah. You were saying this the other day.
Yeah. Like when we have like...
It's like compression almost around your belly,
it's
right?
It's something like that. Yeah. I mean, it's a support band. And yeah, as the belly grows, like I can already kind of tell like there's a little bit of an imbalance. Mm-hmm. Like, because... Yeah,
with your back, I think it's just smart.
Well, and like I've said before, like I'm used to carrying my extra weight like around my midsection, but this is different. Like it's a very different.
It's differently balanced. Too.
It is.
It's deep. It's like deep and it hangs outward. Like it's not like that what you're used to on the outside.
Yeah, it's not a muffin top. You know, like it's an actual like weighted baby. It's right. Weird, and you know all the things that come with babies. So. I can feel the shift of balance a little bit. So I think it would be a good idea to
kind of like when you, I don't know.
We were talking about kinesiology tape too. Like people tape their bellies now. I don't know how effective or if that's just like snake oil or what, but I don't care. I'll tape it up.
We were talking, I don't know if many of you have done this, but it's kind of, I wonder if it's anything like putting on a weighted vest. When some people put on a weighted vest to go running so so that they're heavier when they run. Mm-hmm. Is it more like that where like the weight is more it feels more intentional in one place, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, it's instead of...
That's probably the suddenness of it too.
Well, and I mean, instead of carrying like an extra 20 pounds all over your body, you're carrying it like... In one spot, yeah.
It's crazy.
Or 5 pounds or wherever you're at in your pregnancy. Like, it's weird.
The human body is weird. Mm-hmm. For sure.
Yeah, I was reading you some horror stories the other day and you were just like, what? I don't want to know.
Yeah, and then you got yourself upset.
Yeah. Yeah, we looked at an article. It was like, what does pushing actually feel like? And you were like, send me that. We're going to talk about it on the air. And then I was like, I don't know if I can talk about all this yet.
We're definitely not going to talk about that on the air. Sorry. Not yet anyway. classes. Are we doing classes? When does the class thing start? Like Lamaze and birthing classes, stuff like that.
Yeah, we probably need to start looking into them. We're going to go over a lot with our doctor at this visit. This is like one of the big visits. We're going to, talk to them about who the pediatrician's going to be. And
I think we're picking the pediatrician this week.
Yeah, we got to start working on our birth plan.
Go bag is what my friend said this week. He was like, have the go bag. He's like, doesn't have to be crazy. Just a change of clothes. Yeah. Change of clothes, a book.
I got lists for what needs to go in the go bag. There needs to be a go bag for obviously what me and the baby are going to need, but in the event that you need to be in the hospital for more than 12 hours, there needs to be a little bag for you.
Yeah, we've been wondering what that's going to be like. What the I do have a couple of coworkers that just had kids, so I can ask them what they're and they're local to us, so I can ask them what the process was. Were they allowed to stay overnight? Who was allowed in, how often, all that stuff.
From what I'm hearing, like husbands are now being allowed in delivery rooms. They weren't at the beginning of the pandemic. With it amping up the way it has, I don't know if that'll stick, which is bad. I have no clue what I'll do if you aren't allowed in there. Somebody's gonna have to give me a damn Xanax or something. Like, but yeah, like you can't have visitors in the hospital right now at all. Like, so you get to pick who you want there, but it's one person and that's it. And I don't even know if they even let you pick. They might be like, father of the baby's the only one allowed in. Sorry. Like, or if you're a minor, maybe a parent. Like,
yeah, I can understand that, I guess. But it's like, man, it'll be rough if they're like, nope, nobody.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I mean, I guess with same-sex couples, spouse would be allowed in. But,
right.
But it's, yeah, it's going to be interesting because my friend that's a week behind me, she was just like, we're going to have to deliver in masks if they don't get this vaccine out soon. And I'm honestly not too worried about that. Like, that hasn't bothered me in my head thinking about it. Like, because the masks don't bother me that much. Like, if I have gotten out of breath a little bit running around with them before. And like, once you get to your car and you like done all your like sudsing up of your sanitizer and stuff, you like kind of take it off and breathe for a minute. But it's not unbearable discomfort. That's the least of my worries right now. I'm like, yeah, there's going to be a lot going on with my body that I'm going to be really much more focused on than that, I think.
Yeah.
So we'll see. So
week 17.
Well, yeah. There's a lot. All the scary things are starting to come to the forefront now.
There's nothing to be scared of. It'll be all right. It's going to be beautiful.
Yeah. Oh, God, yeah.
It's going to be beautiful.
What was that comment we read today? This kid better be cute.
This kid better be cute because this sucks or something like that.
Yeah, somebody got put on bed rest and they were like, this kid better be cute, damn it.
Hey, you can reach out to us on Twitter at PUnpreparedPod or via email, permanentlyunprepared@gmail.com. Hit us up. Let us know what's going on with you. We like hearing from you guys.
Yeah.
You're all right. You're going to be okay.
I'm going to be okay. I'm just having a moment.
You're an emotional basket case.
Listen,
right now.
I've been pregnant for 4 months, and this is the worst I've been anxious about things yet. So
send your love to Krista. All right.
Thank you.
Send your love to Krista.
Just having a day.
We'll see.
We happen to have to record on it.
Well, I'm glad we did it.
Yeah.
All right. I love you.
I love you too. Thank you. I needed that.
We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.